Diabolic is paranormal activity next of kin with a lot more drama and no jump scares. Hello, everyone. I'm author R.L. Raintree, and this is Reels and Reads, where I give honest reviews and occasional spoilers. The trailer for Diabolic promises some sort of dark religious cult activity where women are being abused, not just in the traditional sense of abuse, but also in a religious and supernatural sense. It definitely shows us some sort of possession. We hear things about hallucinogens, and it actually does deliver on that trailer's promise. This film sets out to show us the horrors of some, shall we say, extreme religious practices, cults, if you will. In this particular FLDS cult, and I don't know if I should even call it that. I don't know if I'm being disrespectful or not. I apologize if I am. But with this particular cult, as it's described in the film, in order to get to heaven, you have to be Mormon. And so when a girl is being baptized in that religion, then they repeat the names of people who've passed on and for one reason or another cannot get into heaven. They're not Mormon, they committed a sin, got kicked out of the church. Well, someone steps up named Alma and she decides to give the name of a witch so that the witch can no longer torment them from because they managed to kill her in this world. Now, to be fair, this witch was eating people, so I feel like, they had every right to get rid of her. But the witch promised, as witches do, that she was going to get her revenge in this life and the next. And they don't want to pay the consequences for their actions, so they put the spirit of this witch into a girl named Elise, and nothing but problems come from that. I love the way this film jumps right into it. Immediately, everything you've seen in a trailer is pretty much your opening scene with a lot more context and a lot more to look at. It is visually stunning. The stuff that you see in the trailer is just the salt on top of the meal. Okay, this is really intricate. It's very well shot. The cinematography is perfect. It is dark, it is scary. At one point I questioned whether or not I was going to be able to finish this film because we're looking at 2 to 3 minutes in, and it's pretty dark. It's pretty dark. But then the story starts and it doesn't take the foot off the gas. We have Elise who has blackouts, and when she has blackouts, she does things that lead to self harm. Not the type of thing that I would give a trigger warning for, but the type of thing like digging so much that her hands bleed. Now, she does have a therapist who was supposed to help her with transitioning out of this cult, and for reasons I will never understand, and I'm convinced that no mental health professional will ever understand either, this therapist sends her back to the quote unquote cult that messed her up in the first place for, wait for it, hallucinogens. See, in the trailer, it seems like the hallucinogens is just some sort of cultural thing, which it is. But he knows that she has been abused, and he wants to send her back there to have closure and to take this hallucinogenic medication because it's this or the hospital. And I'm like, baby, take the hospital. They got medications there that will help you. They got doctors there. Like, why would we go back to the scene of the crime? Now, normally I truly hate flashbacks. I think they're a cop out when it comes to films. Tell me what I need to know. Don't give me a bunch of backstory to make up for the fact that the story that you're telling me in present day time is insufficient. Just give me what I need to know or what it is that you want me to know. Don't give me flashbacks. But that doesn't apply to this film. The flashbacks are gripping, they're deep, they're emotional, they're dramatic. It will make you feel a certain way about Elise and what she experienced. It'll make you feel a certain way about the cult. And I can tell you one way that I thought I was going to feel was not the way I felt the entire time. It'll definitely make you question whose side you actually want to be on when it comes to LaRue the witch, Elise the victim, and the church itself, which some may say is the culprit here. The flashbacks were wonderfully filmed. They made sense. They breadcrumbed us, but not in a way that just dragged it out. They gave us what we needed to know for the part of the film that we were watching. It didn't drag it out. It didn't give us too much, but I will say there are times when I wanted to spend more time in the flashbacks than the present day part of the film. I didn't have very many issues with this film, but one of them is that the film was tonally flat. As I said, there were no jump scares. And I'm not saying there need to be jump scares, but there's nothing frightful about this film. Outside of what we see at the very beginning, plus maybe a few moments later on, there's definitely some tension, something that makes you feel like, oh, this isn't going to go well. But that's sort of like a classic horror movie expectation. Someone gets locked into a room, you know something's going to happen. You hear bones crackling, you know something is going to happen. But that's about as scary as it gets, in that you're anticipating a problem, and precisely the problem you're anticipating is the problem that happens. So it made it a little bit predictable. So not only was it tonally flat, no real excitement until the final act when everything is being resolved, but then also it's a little predictable in that there are subplots that I can't tell you what they are because it will be a spoiler that I don't want to give. But just know that there are other little situations that are happening that are leading to the bigger problem of the film, which is what Elise is trying to recover from. And those little subplots, you kind of see those coming. So it's kind of like, oh, is this going to be predictable? But you get right past the predictability of it. And but I think the tone being so flat is a little bit more difficult to overcome. I can forgive the predictability because the story is that good, the actual plot is that good. But if you're looking for horror, if you're looking to be frightened, if you're looking for it to be as dark as it was in the trailer, that's not something that you're going to get. This is a film for people who like horror with substance. They're not there for the ghoulies, they're not there for the grotesqueries. They're there for the plot. They're there for something that makes you think until it terrifies you. Just the thought of what this girl experienced can upset people so much so that that's better than any type of monster or creature or special effects that this movie could have given us. Yes, it could have given us the jump scares, and I think we should have had some type of crescendo about halfway through, or at least two-thirds through. But even without it, again, the story is so well written that you're willing to forgive it. It's more of a dramatic horror than a horror film that happens to have drama in it. In that way, it is leaps and bounds better than Paranormal Activity Next of Kin. Paranormal Activity Next of Kin was just doing its best to scare us, and the whole found footage thing was already played out. This is not a found footage film, thank goodness. However, it does make you think, it does make you create a scenario in your own head. When you sympathize with her, empathize with her, that's where you feel the true terror and the true horror. It's less about the supernatural part of it and more so about the horrors of how human beings themselves can be such horrible people. I gave this movie 4.5 stars. The only reason I didn't give it 5 stars is, again, it was tonally flat and we didn't get that dark, disturbing, well, diabolic diabolic horrificness that we saw in the trailer, because that's what made me want to see it. I was prepared to have nightmares. I was looking forward to something of that effect. That's not what I got. What I did get was tremendous. It was a really good movie, predictable at times, flat at other times, but it was still a really good movie. I think that if someone were to redo the trailer, people would be a lot less disappointed. But also, if you're here seeing this review before you see the film, then you're going to enjoy it even more, because now you know that you're not going to be frightened. You will be uncomfortable and you will be disturbed, but unless you're just a lightweight when it comes to horror, then you're not really going to be frightened. So again, if you're a diehard horror fan or you like the story and the plot more so than the frights and the special effects, you're probably going to give this movie 5 stars. But again, I'm giving it 4.5. Have you seen this movie already? Are you planning to see this movie? Do you even like horror films like this? Dramatic horror or horror drama? Let me know in the comments. Let's have a little chat.